Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
What is going on, Canes fam? It is your boys. It's us. Who is it?
It's Matty Ice.
What you got, buddy? How you doing tonight, man?
Oh, man, I am so ready. If you are a March Madness fiend like I am, then you are ready for this show tonight that we have for you. Got two of my really good close buddies coming on, and we got one of our buddies coming on too. Warden is coming on.
Warden's back.
Yep. So, man, I'm super excited. But before we get into all that, there's a few Miami things we kind of wanted to touch on first, and then we're going to kind of bring them in, right?
Absolutely.
And kind of bear with us because we're inviting all these people in at once. So this has all been being done live. So first thing I wanted to say, man, spring ball started up.
Yeah.
How excited are you?
I'm excited, man. I mean, we got our first pitchers, so bring on Bama. Let's go. You know what I mean?
I know, man.
It's
I loved all the people complaining about like how come Cam Harris is in all the videos. It's like, oh my God, get out of here.
I love the first day one pictures and videos and reading them on social
TVD,
media.
Green Tree American.
Right.
Oh yeah.
I love it.
But yeah, man. Other thing I wanted to bring up, kind of some news that kind of hit hard, man. I mean, we kind of knew a little bit about it because we're in the OBB chat. There's someone in the chat by the name of Ryan Raskin and his son Luca, and I think by now everyone knows the hashtag Luca to the U.
Luca to the U.
Yeah, so I mean, I just wanted to address it and just say thoughts and prayers are with him, man, and it's really amazing to see what this fandom can do. Whenever they want to, do something, we're gonna get it done, man. That's how we
Canes
do it.
Fam. That's right. Yeah, I mean,
Canes fam.
Oh my God, it was amazing to see, and it happened really quick. Brad DeHata started it off. Everybody just started retweeting and all this stuff, and then it just blew up. Ed Reed retweeted. You got current players, former players. I mean.
I tried to DM every player I could just like initially, and Lou Headley ended up responding, and I told him like what was going on, and like by this time everything had kind of happened where Manny said something and stuff, but it's just cool to see like everyone rally behind it, and it just shows that we really are a family, and there's no other sports fans that are that are like this, in my opinion.
No, you're right. I mean, so. I remember a few years back, there was another Canes fan, forgive me if it's been a while, that passed away really quickly. And the Canes fan came together, and I can't remember, it's like $100,000 or $120,000 was raised for his family, for his funeral, and then bills and everything. And so, I mean, I've seen it happen more than once. But yeah. What's going on with Luca to the U is you can go to AB's stickers, or stickers by AB. By the way, he's not paying us or promoting us or anything like that. Go to Stickers by AB and order your Luca to the U sticker. Proceeds will go to, I want to say,
Leukemia
Research. That's right. Yeah. It's going to be donated.
I already got mine, man. I wanted the orange and green, but it sold out quick. I got the orange one.
That's all right.
Yeah, so I'm excited for that to show up, man. I'm going to rock that thing.
Yeah, I got mine in early, so I got the orange and one coming, so I'm ready.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you what I'm ready for, man. I'm ready to get into this March Madness.
Are you ready? I mean, you just want to get into it? But first, we got to talk a little bit about the Heat now.
Why? I just want to get into March Madness, bro. Okay. We can talk about the Heat.
A little bit of Heat.
What do you want to bring up?
We got nothing. I mean, you got to do you don't want to do your 2 minutes? Are we not doing 2 minutes?
No 2 minutes this week, man. All it's freaking March Madness. I don't care. Dude, they could have gone 82-0 for all I care. You know what this week is about? It's about freaking March Madness. I know there was like,
let me just say
apologies.
You're a March Madness
apologies. Freak. Oh yeah, hell yeah, dude. March Madness is the greatest sporting event in history of anything.
Okay.
Jimmy added us on Twitter and was like, "Oh, you're gonna talk about like something with baseball?" And I was like, "Hell no, Jimmy!" Like, respect to Jimmy, we love him, but it's like, dude, it's all March Madness. Maybe a little bit of Canes at the start, but it's all March Madness.
Right.
Know what I mean?
Right. We're going to talk about the baseball team because they've done really well. I mean, we're going to cover it really quickly. But yeah.
What? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, just real quick. I mean, they had real good. We got the Rosario was the named pitcher of the week, ACC pitcher of the week. I mean, they're doing really well now. Bats looked good in the last series. We won the last series against Wake Forest. I mean, we got the game tomorrow. Forgive me, I don't remember who we're playing, but I mean, yeah, Little Canes baseball. Let's go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Well, any other thing that you want to bring up that'll keep me from talking about March Madness, or do you want to get into this, or what?
Nope, let's get into it. You want me to start calling the boys?
Yeah, call Brendan. Let's get Brendan in here.
Okay.
You want to call Warden and then call Tommy?
Yeah.
Tommy might need a little time.
What happened to your... You're going to have to send me that stuff again. It's gone.
What do you mean it's gone?
Oh, hold on. Here we go. Messages... Nope. Where'd they go?
It's not under your recent calls?
I set this up, and then it's not. So, yeah, you go ahead and just text it to me. We can talk. I guess we are going to talk a little 305 8 or something.
Here, I got, there's Tommy's. No, we good, dude. They're bearing with us. We aren't professionals.
I mean, we haven't been doing this long enough to be considered professionals that I know of.
For real. You already have Wardens, right?
Yeah, I got Wardens already.
Yeah, get his ass in here, boy. Get that dude in here.
Why is it not working? It worked earlier. Hold on. Bear with me, guys. I'm sorry. I know. That's exactly how I feel right now. It's not working. Text them and tell them to call us because it's not working. I don't know why.
Okay.
They can just respond to that same number that I had. But anyways, how's the Heat looking?
They're looking good, man. I mean, I think they're like third in the East or fourth in the East now. They're on a mean streak, man. Jimmy Butler's been playing good defense. I mean, what can you say? I mean, we knew this was possible. I think they just needed some time, you know. But yeah, because I know are they third or fourth? I think they're fourth actually. But I mean, they've been playing really well. Yeah, they've been playing really well. I mean, I think they've won it feels like they won their last 11. They might have lost a game or something.
Oh, really?
But yeah.
That's crazy. Okay, there's Brendan's number. That's going in. And then once he answers, I'll call the Warden.
There we go.
Hey.
Let's call the Warden now.
We had some technical difficulties over here. Oh, there he is.
There he is. What's up, man?
Boom. What's up?
So this is my buddy. Oh, there's There's Warden.
Warden's coming on. There he is.
Hey, how's it going?
What's up,
how's
brother?
it going?
How you doing?
Warden, this is my buddy Brendan right over here.
Brendan, how's
hey,
it going,
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Let's just we just got to get. Oh, Tommy's gonna be a little late, so let's just get started without him. So, boys, how excited are y'all for March Madness to be back? We missed out on it last year. Just let me know, how excited are you?
I mean, I'm so ecstatic. Obviously, taking a trip here in a couple of days with my dad to bet like crazy. The Biden bucks, the stimulus hit right at the right time for me. So when the stimmy hits, I put all the money on a parlay. I'm just so excited because this is. I listened a little bit earlier. This is my favorite time of the year. I love March Madness. Growing up, and going to school, and the teacher would let you watch 2 or 3 games in the afternoon, and you go home. When you got older in college, obviously try not to fake out on classes or be on spring break. So I just love this time of year. I'm ready.
Well, I got to bring this up because Brendan is actually one of those teachers teaching the future future Miami Fiend or the future March Madness Fiends. Yeah, man.
Yeah. No, I go all out. I totally hype it up in class. We tie in the whole college aspect, right, of thinking about our futures. But I give every student in my class 2 teams at random. So they draw 2 teams out of a little box, and if their team goes through and wins the whole thing, I get them like a little $5 gift certificate, and so they all get nuts for it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, that's awesome.
Brennan's a teacher you wanted in middle school, man. I'm telling you.
Yes, some of the teachers wouldn't even turn the TV on, right? They're like, we got school to learn. Well, guess what? I'm not here to learn. I'm here to watch basketball.
I specifically remember one class period my first year when I was really getting into it, and there were classes a little more difficult. I teach math, so that's always a fun time. And I was telling them, hey, here's a problem. You guys get it right, I turn a game on for 2 minutes. You get it wrong, it's off. We have to do another one. And tell you what, we were 10 for 10. Win-win for everyone. I got to sit there watch some game. It was great.
Hey, knowing you though, you were throwing out some. Hey, what's 2 + 2? I know you want to watch those games.
Don't need to get into the logistics of it, but
yeah, that's not the point, Matt. Come on now.
Right.
Oh, that's awesome. Hey, man, funny. So you guys ready to break down this bracket and get into it?
Let's do it.
All right. So I kind of wanted to start just feeling-wise, just looking at this bracket as a whole. Is there anyone like that you think is misseeded, that maybe shouldn't have to play a play-in game or anything of that nature? Too many teams in a conference. Anything you want to pick at?
Go ahead, Brennan. You go first.
All right. I think the one thing that stood out to me right away was I felt like the committee looking in has to kind of take the whole COVID thing into effect, right? Because season was definitely not the same as what it normally is. And so I would say trending in quite the upward direction at the end of their season was Michigan State. And you talk about beating some top-tier teams here. I feel like Michigan State could have swapped out with Utah State. Still held that 11 line, but I wasn't so sure there, or even Syracuse, to be honest.
Yeah, Syracuse.
I wasn't 100% on Syracuse not having to play a first 4 game. That was kind of those 2 things. I felt like Michigan State should have been in the regular 64.
Okay. What about you, Warden?
Yeah, I mean, that's why I was like, well, I'll let them take it first. I'll let them hit the softball over the fence. I think Syracuse is the easy pick here. They got in because of a blue blood. They were close. I also will stand on the hill and die on it. If Duke wins their game where they don't have the COVID issue, and they have it the next game, Duke's in there instead of Utah State. Because they were like, okay, we can say they won this many in a row, and we can put them in. Yeah, so everybody knows I'm an Ohio State guy. So yeah, Michigan State clearly played. I didn't want to see it because I'm not a big Izzo fan, but Michigan State clearly played well enough. They should not be in a play-in game. They clearly saw UCLA and Michigan State and said, "Ooh, here's ratings for the first night." Because you're going to watch that game. You're going to watch it over all the other ones. I'm going to watch all of them, but it don't matter. Honestly, they got it right almost everywhere else. This is probably one of the best seedings they've had in a while. I would say Oklahoma State could have been a 3, a 2.
Okay.
Yeah,
they're good. They're really good. And I don't think
they got a tough
really
first game too. I know we're going to get into that later, but
yeah, we will. But I would say the Oklahoma State would be my only other one where they should have been ranked 2 or 3.
Yeah, so. I think the one thing I would add too, I know you guys kind of mentioned Syracuse, but I mean the fact that I believe it's 7 ACC teams made the tournament in like such a down year for the ACC. I thought this year was not good at all. I mean, the past few years have been down, but I thought this year especially. So I was kind of surprised with that, and I agree with the whole Michigan State thing as well. When you look at their level of competition and who they've beaten and stuff. But yeah, I mean, kind of switching over. The one thing I really wanted to get into, well, I don't know if we should start with this. Okay, we'll start with this later. We'll end with this because it's like the thing I'm most excited for. But then I feel like we got to save the best for end. The road to the Final Four. So looking at this, who do you see that has like the easiest path to get to the Final Four? Could be 1, 2 seed, whatever you think.
The Zags. I mean, honestly,
yeah.
to me, they don't really play. The way my bracket, I guess, works out, and we'll go into that later. But in the West region, in my opinion, they don't play a real team until the Elite Eight in my bracket, and that may be because there's upsets and stuff. But even then, when they play Iowa, if Iowa gets that far, I mean, they have Luka Garza, but they are not efficient offensively. And I will say this before the tournament: I said if Iowa got somebody that was efficient, i.e., an Ohio, a Cleveland State, I didn't like Iowa in the first round. Grand Canyon, we'll get into it with my bets later, but I like Grand Canyon in the first round to cover, but I don't like them to win. And I would say the Zags probably have the easiest. Ohio State's in there too. I'm not even gonna lie to you. They don't really. I mean, if they go 3 straight wins, they don't play a team with a big. And that's what kills them. That's what killed them with Michigan and Illinois in the last game, the Big Ten championship game. So I would say probably Ohio State and Gonzaga, in my opinion.
Okay. What about you, Brendan?
Yeah, no, I definitely feel the Gonzaga look. I mean, the next 3 best teams supposedly in their bracket they've beaten, right? They beat Iowa, they beat Kansas, they beat Virginia. Granted, early in the season, Kansas a little bit different than Kansas now, but they definitely have wins over those teams already, and so they've already had a scout for them. So there's nothing. Like, they just add on to what they've done. So I think I would 100% have to agree. Gonzaga definitely has the nicest path forward, but, I mean, it's all fun and games to talk about, but we all know how this goes, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Gonzaga loses their first game.
Right. No. Mighty Norfolk State, baby.
Yeah. No, I think it's just funny how it worked out that, like, in their section, it's like the next highest seeds are all people that they've beat. Virginia, Kansas, and Iowa. Like, how does that happen? But I mean, you never know. I think I agree with you. I think the path is probably the easiest for them just because the higher seeds have a lot of question marks after Gonzaga, I would say. Just kind of honing in on what you guys have said too. Besides that, I don't really see any other like clear-cut, easy path.
I think Michigan has the hardest slot as a number 1. They have to go. So let's just say this happens and the Bonnies beat LSU, right? St. Bonaventure is not a slouch.
No.
Georgetown is the hottest team in America right now, and under Patrick Ewing and John Thompson passing away, Georgetown's finding themselves. They know who they are now. And then Alabama or Texas after that. I would probably lean Alabama. And Alabama can score out the wazoo. So to me, I think Michigan, which is okay in my book, has the toughest path to the Final Four easily.
I'd agree with you. I would agree. I know. I want to shift this over and give it to Brendan because I know he's a huge St. Bonnie's fan over there.
I like the Bonnies. Yeah.
Hey, I'm watching a couple games. They're tough across the board. They play hard. They defend. I think they'll make anyone's life a tough one that they got to go up against. And so, I definitely have the Bonnies moving forward and then having a tight one with Michigan. And so, I completely agree with that.
Yeah, we're very similar in that aspect. I love St. Bonaventure in the first round. They're that classic underdog team. I mean, obviously being a 9 seed, they're not as like, that 13 or 14 where you're like, oh, okay. Huge upset, but they're going against an SEC team, LSU, that was going back and forth on with Alabama Saturday.
Yeah, so, LSU's got some dudes.
Yeah, they're good.
So I kind of wanted to break it down by section, point out some games that we think are going to be good games, competitive, and then maybe some upsets as well.
Okay.
Let's start, since we already kind of mentioned it with Gonzaga. Let's start with the Western region. What do you guys think? Let's start with upsets. What do you? There's one upset I'm looking at right now, and I'm just going to mention it because I think someone else is going to mention it. And I know me and Brendan were talking about this last night, so I want to mention it. UCSB taking down Creighton. How do you guys feel about that?
I mean, Creighton did just get smacked by Georgetown, and I don't know if that's a Creighton issue, if that's a Georgetown success. But that's definitely one that's interesting. I mean, I know UCSB, much smaller conference, but they got a solid team, right? And they've gotten on the winning path recently too. I can see that. I also go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, kind of adding to what you're saying. I didn't realize this, but I looked at their roster like up and down, and like 5 out of their top 6 scorers are transfers from like pretty big like D1 schools.
Right.
So these aren't just like mid-major dudes or whatever, you know.
Right.
So, but yeah, go ahead, Brendan. Sorry about that.
I was gonna say the other game that I was kind of eyeing was Ohio against Virginia.
Okay.
Yes.
I like Ohio's point guard a lot. I remember watching him a couple years ago as a freshman in some of those games, and I was like, hey, this dude might be pretty good. So I think he's a junior now, senior. And I like the way that they kind of go about things. And I know Virginia's a little bit down. Their point guard's kind of the one dude that's returned from that team that was really good. But you make him have to score. That's an interesting look at for a 4-13 for sure.
Yeah.
And I have a little website here, and I can send it to you guys. I've been using it for my research. So to go on the Santa Barbara thing, because I never thought about that. So you're looking at efficiency since 2008, and what they do is they look at similar teams, where they were in the tournament, and how far they went. And I remember this team because they beat my Buckeyes in the first round. But it looks like UC Santa Barbara is very similar to Dayton in 2014 when they went to the Elite Eight. Okay. They have some other teams that they were similar to that went only one game. They went to the round of 32, and then some teams that lost in 64. But it looks like they're averaging out to about 0.6 wins, which is over, that's getting close to that one win that's an upset. So I'll have to reconsider that. But I agree 100%. Ohio, Virginia. I think it's Preston, right? Last name Preston.
Yes.
Preston. Mm-hmm. I was watching the game, and that tidbit about him in high school losing his mom and then not having any offers. That's him having success. That's the type of stuff that you love in March.
For sure.
And nobody knew about Steph Curry, right?
Yeah.
Nobody knew about Steph Curry. I remember Davidson. That was so much fun. It's one of my favorite years of the tournament. And all it takes, if they get past Virginia. Okay, who had the COVID issue. They're not traveling until Friday, right? They're not traveling until Friday. They're going to play Saturday. So, boom, okay. So we get past Virginia. Then you have a Creighton or a UC Santa Barbara matchup. Okay, well, I would hope that he would be able to propel them to a win. You're looking at a possible Sweet 16 run for him. That's where I have them because I like them that much.
Okay.
So I love Ohio easily. Yeah. That's my biggest upset in that bracket.
Okay. I had Virginia coming in with that one. I'm kind of biased. I don't know why I have this like relationship with Virginia. One of their bigs, I can't remember his name. He kind of plays like Frank Kaminsky. Do you know who I'm talking about? Yeah. I love bigs like that. But yeah, man, I think they've been pretty inconsistent, and I think that just kind of sums up the ACC as a whole, They're kind of the perfect representation of it. But yeah, how do you guys feel about the Oregon VCU game? Anything there? I know that's like a slight upset, but anything either way, or pretty confident with Oregon?
I have Oregon.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's going to be a close game. Those 7-10 matchups are basically 8-9 matchups, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Once you start getting to maybe, the 6-11, that's when you kind of have some disparity, but 7-10s are pretty close as well. Mm-hmm. I've seen Oregon play a couple times when I've been watching Bill Walton in the Conference of Champions, at 1 a.m. over here in Ohio. So yeah, I like Oregon in that game. I don't have much on that, but I would, if I'm just going by what I've seen, I would say Oregon.
Yeah, and I know
I've
you
seen
like
a decent
Oregon
amount
too,
of
right?
Oregon.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Quince Duarte is no joke, and it'll be cool to see him get to have at it here in March. I watched VCU play a couple, and I just didn't get the same vibes of VCU teams in the past, as weren't as gritty, weren't as kind of tough nosed, and so I think Oregon will take that one.
Okay, and kind of some numbers too. We talked about the 10 seed over 7 seed. 10 seed has beat 7 seeds over since 1985, 39% of the time. 11 over 6 seeds, 37%. 12 over 5 is 36. That's a pretty high number. 13 over 4 seeds is 20%. 14 over 3 is 15%. And then 6 over 2 is 6%. And then 16 over 1 only happened once, and we all know that. That's Virginia and UMBC.
I got a funny story about that, boys. So we're at South Point in Vegas. Me and my dad usually go out to Vegas for March Madness. And we're sitting there, and the guy in front of me is an alum or goes to school or something, because he was talking about him, of UMBC, okay? And he said he pulled his ticket up, and I think he put like $20 on it, on the money line, which was 250 to 1, okay? So then we go back to the Stratosphere, because I'm going to play craps. My dad, I think, was going to play poker, and that's where we were staying. And I'm playing craps, and all of a sudden you see on the TV, and you see everybody's eyes glued to the TV, because it's going to be the first thing to happen. And all I can think about is that guy sitting in his chair, crapping his pants, going, holy shit, I just won. $5,000 on a $20 bet.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
So yeah, that's awesome. I hope. I mean, obviously, everybody watches for Cinderellas, but at the end of the day, in the Final Four, you want to see all the best teams, because that gets you the best games. But I tell you what, when it gets down to the nitty gritty and a 15 or 16 seeds keeping it close and the 1 or 2 seeds sweating, it is so much fun to watch. So much fun to watch.
Okay. You guys pretty satisfied with that section?
Yeah, I would say USC kind of intrigues me a little bit.
Okay.
Evan Mobley, pretty good. But I think their issue is they definitely, like, talent-wise, have a shot to kind of win a couple. But I think that just collectively as a unit, they don't play much as a complete group. And so I think that'll be their little shortcoming. But I think they'll take Wichita or Drake, depending on whoever wins that. So
yeah, absolutely.
And I'll be honest with you, all my exciting stuff happens at the beginning of the bracket. I have this region chalk. I have 1v2. I mean, when it comes down to it, Iowa might have some problems with Kansas easily. I mean, they can honestly have problems with any team, because they're one of those weird teams. But I think they're kind of peaking maybe back at the right time. So, I mean, in my Elite Eight right now, I have, the Zags and Hawkeyes playing each other. So
okay. Let's kind of shift gears. Let's go. Where do I want to go next? Let's go with the East.
Right.
This is probably the one. So I want to say I'm the least sure of. I think, probably least sure of.
I have the most cross-outs in this section.
Okay. I think we're all in agreement here then. So what? I feel like we could go through every single one of these matchups almost, because I'm not really confident. There's a few teams that I'm confident in, but I mean, I think we can just say upset wise, what are you guys looking at? I think everyone might bring up a different game here, but
yeah, Georgetown. I mean, I love Georgetown. One of my favorite teams in the bracket. I like Michigan State to beat UCLA, and I like them to beat BYU. And then
I do too.
I have them losing to Texas, but I could honestly see Michigan State making some stupid run. They could definitely do that. And I like Maryland over UConn. So I got a couple of higher seeds in this one winning. But to me, I like Florida State enough to get over UNC Greensboro, but I don't like them enough if they play either Colorado or Georgetown. So I have them losing that game no matter what.
I'm not confident either against either team either. Brendan, I kind of wanted to ask you. Brendan is a huge UCLA fan. What are your feelings?
Nice.
They're playing against Michigan State.
Yeah, no, I was sitting there watching on Selection Sunday, and I had just this looming feeling that, like, I mean, I personally, from a basketball standpoint, don't believe that UCLA deserved to be there. They had a decent beginning, had some guys out, right? So our best guy, Chris Smith, goes out And then our second best big just decides to leave the team. At least that's all we know of right now. Jalen Hill, he's out. And so we're rolling through, kind of limping our way in. Lose to Oregon State, who then ends up winning the Pac-12, which was kind of fascinating in and of itself. But yeah, my thing is, I think I definitely agree with Michigan State winning that, and I also think Michigan State might go through and win a couple. They're definitely trending in the right direction. I know one team that interests me is Abilene Christian. Okay. They got 7-foot dude. They got some kids that can shoot. They played Texas earlier this year, and they lost 51-44. So hung tight with Texas. Sorry, they played Texas Tech. Sorry, Texas Tech earlier this year. Lost 51-44. And so kind of showed that they can hang with the big boys. And so that might be the one, as I look at the 14 seed line, Abilene Christian might be my 14 pick, but then it's like, because that's what I have crossed out. Because at first I'm like Texas to the Final Four. I loved them. I loved their guards. They get after it, right? They play with fire. And then I was sitting there and I was like, wait, could they lose their first game? And I've been kind of going back and forth with that because I think Michigan State has all the capability to kind of beat them as well. So, yeah, this is 100%. If I could turn and show you, I got cross-outs all over the place trying to figure out what I'm going to do with here.
Yeah. So I got to agree, too, on a point earlier. I'm out on BYU. The WCC wasn't as strong this year. St. Mary's was down. I wish Tommy was here so I could make fun of him for it. He's a huge St. Mary's fan. And he went to school there. This is alma mater.
Yeah, he did go there.
Yeah. And I know the whole argument, three of their losses came against Gonzaga. But I mean, I just don't see it. I think they're overhyped. I don't even think they should have been a 6th seed. I don't know how you guys feel about that. But
you could have swapped them with Loyola Chicago.
Yeah,
honestly.
Yeah, that's why I have Michigan State. If UCLA somehow wins, I would have them over BYU too. Honestly, I'm just not confident in them at all. But yeah, okay? Let me ask you this though. We didn't talk about it yet. Iona. Mm-hmm. Is there any sliver of chance that they beat Alabama? Alabama is the highest seed that I don't know about. I feel like I know the least about because I don't really watch SEC basketball, because that's a football division.
Ready for fun fact of the day here?
Yeah, so, give it to me.
Iona, coached by Pitino now, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So back in the day, I want to say it was like 89. I should have wrote down the stat when I heard it. But he took Providence to the Final Four, and for his first game was against Alabama. And so here he is again, lower seed against Alabama. I haven't seen Iona play at all this year. It's a name that pops up all the time. They're usually one of the little mid-major schools that gets in, but I haven't seen them. I've seen Alabama a couple games. They were pretty impressive. And so I just I have a different 15 seed that I think might be able to make some noise, but I don't know if it's Iona.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't. I like Bama too much. I mean, again, it gets down to the last 2 minutes, and Iona keeps it close. I might be going crazy, rooting for Iona, even if it busts my bracket. But yeah, my buddy's listening in right now, and so he's texting me because me and him are basketball fiends, and he says, Bama takes a lot of threes, and I agree with him. They're a lot of fun. They're high scoring. Yeah, I think Bama to the Elite Eight for me. That's how much I like them. So
yeah.
Okay. We are now welcomed by my boy Tommy D.
Welcome, Tommy. How you doing, bud?
What's up, baby?
Looking good with the Clark Kent look. I love it.
These are never before seen.
Tommy, we're kind of going over the East. We just finished the East section of the bracket, and we were kind of talking some upsets. As someone who watches, WCC basketball, I'm sure a lot. What are your feelings on like BYU?
I actually really like BYU. I don't know if you guys saw the WCC championship game when they played Gonzaga. They were actually up by 14 at one point during the game. They were up at halftime. Also, they just slowly just started fading away. Gonzaga just is so good. I honestly have them winning the whole thing, to be honest. And I know you might say it's a little biased because I went to St. Mary's, so I'm very partial to the WCC. But BYU, I think they're going to take that first game regardless over UCLA. I'm sorry, Brendo. I know you probably have UCLA beating BYU, but that's going to be a great game.
He's like, nah, man, I'm trying to win the bracket challenge.
Hey, so my rule for March Madness is I make my bracket, I change it a billion times, and then once the ball is tipped, I toss everything out the window and just try to enjoy the whole spectacle. I can't, because if I sit there and start going through, then I start chomping at the bit trying to will games to happen. But yeah, no, I think in my basketball mind, I don't think UCLA beats Michigan State.
Hey, at least they got in and you get to watch a game.
Hey,
can't say the same for me and Tommy. So Miami and St. Mary's ain't in it. So let's kind of shift over. I want to talk about the South next.
Wait, time out. Did you guys mention that there's probably going to be an upset special second round?
What's that?
Bonaventure over Michigan. East.
Okay. No, we did not talk about that. Okay.
We talked about our love for the Bonnies, but I don't think we went so far to say beat Michigan.
Yeah, Brendan was a little hesitant on pulling the trigger that far.
All right, we'll see. I'm just calling it right now. You heard it here first, live.
Okay. I will record that, and we can go back to it. Okay. So kind of shifting gears, going over to the South Division. Any games that stick out here? Not in terms of upset, just good games. Anything? Any close games? Anything?
Good games. Yeah, the entire bracket or the entire side of that bracket.
Yeah,
I think that's the most fun.
Okay.
No,
it really is.
You're so right.
Yeah, Colgate versus Arkansas. I love Purdue. Obviously, being an Ohio State fan, got to see him play. Purdue, and Williams is just amazing. Winthrop Nova is going to be fun. Wisconsin, North Carolina. Baylor playing anybody is a fun time. And then, actually, honestly, the funniest, I'm going to make this statement here. So the South is probably the most fun bracket, but probably has the most boring game out of the entire tournament in Florida and Virginia Tech. And it's the first game to kick us off. So I might take a cat nap, until the next game kicks off. So
or
get the pregame started.
What are you said all the games were pretty good in here, highly contested. Numbers wise, what are you betting on in here? Is there any games you're betting on in here?
Yeah. So we got Colgate, Arkansas.
Yep.
So I'm gonna take Colgate plus 9.5. I might sprinkle some money on the money line. Arkansas is really, really good though. But that's gonna be a high scoring game. Yeah. I mean that's probably gonna hit the over. And then the other game, let's see, what other game do I have? Oh, I have Winthrop money line, plus 220 straight up. They're gonna beat Nova. I have no doubt about that. So
okay.
I'll throw some money on that one as well. So I like both those teams.
Starting guard Gillespie is out, right? For the tournament, he got injured. So I think a lot of people are calling that upset too as well. So
that's what tosses me. Many people are like, yes, Winthrop, and I'm like, well, knowing the tournament, Villanova's going to pull through somehow.
See, the thing with me though is because I have Purdue going pretty far, so for me it doesn't really matter. So that's kind of how I'm looking at it. So I don't know if I'm going to pick that upset yet. I think Nova could win a game. Because, the thing you got to think of, too, is, look at how much time Jay Wright is getting, coaching-wise to prepare and everything. It's just hard to see. I mean, I know they're down a guy, but, I just don't know. That's just a hard game for me to pick.
Yeah, that'll be a tough one.
So my buddy just texted me. Like I said, he's giving me tidbits here because he's a big college guy. He's listening in. So Winthrop's starting big is a Tennessee transfer. So he's played in big games, which is kind of big.
For sure.
I liked him before that anyway because watching him, during the weekend tournaments and obviously you kind of listen to the pundits. But yeah, I like Winthrop a lot.
What about you, Tommy? Any games here catch your eye? Any upsets maybe?
Yeah, I think Baylor, being a number 1 seed, has the hardest number 1 seed route to the Final Four because they win their first game. They got either North Carolina or Wisconsin, both 2 powerhouse schools for college basketball. Either of them could easily upset Baylor. And then if they get through them, they're probably going to have Purdue. So, I mean, that's just tough games all around for Baylor. I think Ohio State's coming out of this bracket on the second seed on the South looking nice.
Okay. I know Warden likes that.
I like Tommy. Tommy can stick around. We can get rid of Brendan, but Tommy can stick around. I like that.
Well, my next statement you might enjoy. I also have Ohio State hitting the Final Four.
All right, you both can stick around. This is the Buckeyes call-in show now.
Although my one little tidbit just to look out for is I always like individual players that can kind of turn up right in the tournament. A lot of times this is the one time where one dude like Carl Edwards or whatever for Purdue last tournament. Carson Edwards, you're right. And then even what was it? Trey Lyles, is that what his name was? The UMBC dude?
No, that was Jarius Lyles. Trey Lyles was a dude from Kentucky or something.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. But Oral Roberts has the nation's leading scorer.
Scores
4 points per game. And gets after it. So that's always a fun thing when you got one dude that's going to be putting up a ton of shots just to see. But I think, especially recently being able to watch some Ohio State games, I just feel like they're solid, and I really do like them making it out of that region.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to level with you guys. I think everyone here knows it. I have Colgate beating Arkansas. That's my 14-3 upset. I love Colgate, man. I literally only watched one game, so I'm basing everything off of one game. So if you're filling your bracket out and you're like, oh, I'm going to just, fill it out. Matt said to do this. Do not listen to me. Listen to the fact I only watched one game. They got a bunch of dudes. I think they have 6 guys averaging over 10 points a game or something, or around 10 points a game. I think they're the 4th. Are they the 4th most efficient offense?
Something like that, yeah.
Some insane number like that. I love their offense. I was talking to Brendan about this. A lot of ball screens for the shooters. I think they get hot. I think they outshoot Arkansas. And boom. But you know what? They're going to lose next round against Texas Tech, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, any other games here caught your eye, fellas, or are we good on this section?
I think that region, I think it's been said.
Yeah, everything.
You know what? I would say this. Purdue, if Baylor can get past North Carolina, Wisconsin, like you said, Purdue can make it down there. Purdue-Baylor is going to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I mean fun. That Purdue, that is a fun team with Zach Edey and Williams out there, just going, playing really good big man ball. That's a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
A lot of fun.
So, boys, moving on down. Last one, we got the Midwest. This one, I would say, was more similar to the East for me in terms of picking. I was just kind of unsure. There are some games, though, let me see. I'll key in on Rutgers and Clemson. Mm-hmm. I do not like Clemson in this game. I like Rutgers. Clemson way too inconsistent offensively for me after watching some of their games. You look at their schedule, they got blown out by several teams. I think they got blown out by Duke as well. I just think that Rutgers is going to take advantage of that, and they're going to lose in the next round though against Houston.
Rutgers is tough. Rutgers is tough for sure.
But yeah, so any games here stick out? Upsets, close games?
I'm not big on Houston.
Oh, okay.
Houston has, I think, 2 wins total against tournament teams. I watched them, and I wasn't really feeling it. I like Rutgers, like you said. I also like Rutgers to go take on Houston and take them down.
Oh, okay.
I have them going too. I'm not completely sold on Houston there. And then I would also say I'm intrigued with the West Virginia game. I feel like against Morehead State. I feel like West Virginia has been kind of up and down. They've been really good at times, and then they've been not so great at times. And so when you have that kind of unsure nature of play recently, I don't know. It's just something that I definitely look at and raise an eyebrow for.
Absolutely. Hey, so Tommy, how you feel? How you feel about this section?
This is like the least section I've studied up about, to be honest, the most. But you know who I do like a lot, and I don't think they've gotten the credit they deserve, is Oklahoma State. I feel like they're at least a Sweet 16 team. I think they're gonna push Illinois to be an upset.
Okay. I think we got into that a little earlier before you jumped on. That do you think that they were misseeded? They should have been a higher seed too.
A little bit, but the way they were put on the Midwest side, I think they have a chance at still overthrowing Illinois.
Okay. Warden, as a betting man like yourself, what games here interest you?
Okay, so let me find it here. So Rutgers, Clemson, I agree 100%. They're very similar teams, but here's the thing. Rutgers played in a way better conference, conference. So I like them. They're giving up 1.5. I think they cover the 1.5. I think they win. And then we got, I'm just trying to check here. I don't have it listed. And Oregon State and Tennessee. I think Oregon State is a team that's trending in the right direction at this time. They're getting 7.5. I actually think they win outright. I have it in my bracket, but getting 7.5 in what I think is going to be a close game, I think that's an easy bet there. I will tell you this: I have someone making the Elite Eight that probably nobody has making the Elite Eight, and that's Cleveland State.
Oh wow!
I think Dennis Gates is one of the most underrated coaches in the country. The Horizon League is a decent league. Obviously, they don't have Butler anymore. I'm a Wright State alumnus, and obviously I think Wright State had the better team in the league, but they never show up in March. And what Cleveland State did against OU in the first game, and Ohio University beat the dog shit out of them. Let's be honest. They were able to keep it close with Ohio State the next game. Mm-hmm. So they're able to jump back after getting beat what I think is about 40-plus points and keep it very close with Ohio State, who is a top 10 team in the country. And then after that, they started to find their mojo. And Dennis Gates is a Leonard Hamilton from Florida State disciple who plays really good defense. Houston, a good offensive team. I think they shut them down. I think they beat them. I think they go against Rutgers. I think they do the same thing. And then I ultimately think they get beaten by – actually, I have them to the Sweet 16. I apologize. I think they get beaten by San Diego State eventually because I like San Diego State a lot. But I think Cleveland State is one of those teams that you kind of watch their Cinderella story kind of go on as well as Ohio University. I think I'm all Ohio in this bracket.
Yeah. So. So I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about this game because I think I talked about the ACC, too many teams made it in. I think it was a total of 7. But one team that I thought was seeded too low was Georgia Tech. I love Georgia Tech. I know they kind of they got the nod, because Virginia had to forfeit the ACC tourney. But man, just when you talk about guard play, they're hot when it counts. But the only other thing is I really like Loyola too. Oh, yeah. So this game is probably probably one of my favorite first day games. To be honest with you.
Loyola has the second best defense efficiency in the nation. So
they're something 9 in KenPom too.
Yeah. If they beat the first round, and I know you said Oklahoma State and Illinois, Tommy, I think that's a good point. But Loyola Chicago versus Illinois would be such a fun second round matchup, an in-state rivalry. Obviously, some of those kids probably wanted to go to Illinois. Yeah. They're from Chicago, most of them. A lot of them are local kids. What the nun is
Sister Jean.
Sister Jean is going to Indiana. So
that's going ham.
I don't know. And people say this team was a lot better than the one that made the run. So interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't even think about the state in-state rivalry for sure. That could definitely play a part.
Yeah. So Loyola actually was in the Horizon League when I was in college at one point. So them and Butler. So you picture this: Butler, Loyola Chicago Wright State and Cleveland State, if they all would have stayed in the Horizon League would have been one of those leagues that would have started getting 2-team bids because obviously Butler making their run when they had Gordon Hayward. It's been a lot of fun seeing Loyola Chicago kind of have their come up.
Yeah, absolutely. So I kind of want to shift back and look at this bracket as a whole. I want to read this statistic for you guys. Okay? Teams seeded 7 or 10 have upset a number 2 seed 43 times in the past 35 years. So that's an average of 1.2 per year, right? And number 6 or 11 seeds have beaten a number 3 seed 45 times. So that's 1.3 times a year. So history tells us you should pick at least one number 2 seed and 3 seed to lose in the second round, right? With all of that, who are you looking at in terms of number 2 and 3 seeds that might struggle and lose in the second round?
I think I got to piggyback Warden for his 2 at the bottom right here, Houston and West Virginia. I feel like they'll have some tough ones, and West Virginia against San Diego State, if they do make it past that, I really do like San Diego State to take that as well. So I already talked about how I thought Houston would lose to Rutgers. We got Houston losing to Cleveland State. So might be our number 2 consensus to take one out, but in my opinion at least.
Yeah, so I know you had Houston, Warden. What about a 3 seed that you could see struggling?
A 3 seed that I could see struggling. So, okay, we got Texas. We've already, we've talked about that. Brendan. Yeah. I agree with you. I think Arkansas. But see, here's the thing: Arkansas can score. So that's the one thing that scares me about Arkansas is the fact that they can also score. They're kind of a run and gun team there. West Virginia. Honestly, I would probably have to go back to Arkansas. If any of them is going to happen, I agree with you. I have Colgate in my bracket because I like that. I like that matchup with Colgate. Mm-hmm. But I will say it wouldn't also surprise me if every 3 seed blows out the 14 seed at this point. Because there's such a disparity, and there's not that one like Colgate's probably the strongest 14 seed out of all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'd agree with you on that.
Yep, I'd say Arkansas down in the first round.
Okay. What about you, Tommy? I know you're rolling with Colgate. You hopping in the Colgate bus or what, man?
I might need to head there because I don't see Texas losing, and I know you said you like Morehead State, but I don't see West Virginia losing either. And I think Kansas is actually a really strong team for being a 3 seed. I think they're going to be trouble for Iowa down there at the bottom on the west side of the bracket.
Okay. I think Iowa might even have some trouble with Oregon as well.
Also, I think Oregon might be an upset special. So, I mean, I don't have Iowa getting to the sweet. Not Elite 8 for sure. No way.
Okay, boys. So I kind of wanted to bring something up. This is something that Brendan, you actually sent me a TikTok. And there was a statistic that 95% of NCAA champs follow this model statistically. They shoot above 37% from 3. I think it's 70% from free throw, and they allow less than 71 points per game, and then they have fewer than 14 turnovers. It was something like that. And the teams that follow this model are Michigan, Virginia, San Diego State, BYU, and Liberty. So with that being said, does that change your perspective on anything?
I mean,
just hearing that.
I am not super anti-BYU. I think that if UCLA somehow pulls a miracle against Michigan State, I feel like they would lose to a team like BYU, having some bigger dudes that are tough inside, where we kind of are down to one big, who's not even that big. And so BYU, I think, is a solid team, but I just think Michigan State is so trending forward right now. I do really like San Diego State. And Liberty's so interesting, but I just don't. I don't know what it is about Michigan that makes me feel like they're not quite there yet to really dominate teams, and maybe it's because of the Bonnies And
they have an injury too, right? What's his?
Right.
I can't remember his name.
I was just hearing about it. Yeah, one of their guys is injured. Who knows if he'll be back in time for this or not?
Isaiah Livers.
Yes, there it is.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
What about you, Warden?
No. It doesn't change it for me. I mean, I'll be completely honest with you, and a buddy of mine, when we were talking, the same buddy that's texting me all this info, could make me look really smart, I guess, is this is going to be one of the tougher years because of the COVID issue, right? A lot of teams only playing conference games, and nobody kind of, you don't have Colgate all of a sudden matching up on a bracket buster Saturday with Cleveland State or whatever, because a lot of times they would do that. So I think it's chalk. I really do. I have chalk in my Final Four, and I don't like to do that. That's one of the most boring things you can do in your bracket, right? Just do all number ones, pick 2 number ones to play in the championship. But I think the number ones are that far and above. Gonzaga, to me, is not going to be touched the entire time. Mm-hmm. We've talked about it. Yeah, Illinois could be susceptible in an upset, but I'm sorry, but when you have Coburn and Ayo out there, and not only that, you have a deep bench. I mean, watching the Ohio State game, they were putting out 2, 3, 4, 5 guys at a time, and they were still hitting, threes. I just think those two teams are so far and above, and then you have obviously Michigan and Baylor. Obviously, there could be a 2 that sneaks in there, but I really do. I like all the chalks. I do. It's boring, but I do, and I hate to say it.
Oh man. Okay. Let me ask you guys something. Do I want to ask this soon? Okay, yeah. Who are your Final Four guys? Final Four teams. Warden, let's start with you, bro.
So obviously I just went into my little rant there. Gonzaga, Baylor, Michigan, and Illinois.
Okay.
I have the Zags in Illinois playing in the championship. I've liked watching Gonzaga all year. I did have a buddy, and he made a valid point that Gonzaga usually gets in the tournament and kind of cripples because the WCC is not as strong. But I'm telling you right now, Timmy, the point guard, I can't remember his name. I do can shoot threes, and then Suggs. Suggs reminds me of almost like a quick Kawhi Leonard type player, and I mean he just sees the floor very well as well. And I think you having those 3 guys, those 3 scoring, if one of them gets in foul trouble, you still have 2 more, right? It's not just a one-guy show. And then, like I said, Illinois has about 30 people on their bench. So I like Illinois and Gonzaga, and I have Illinois winning it all.
Okay. What about you, Tommy?
Man, I've been going back and forth with this the whole time. I've been trying to figure this out, but Gonzaga's solid, making it to the Final Four. I got to go Ohio State, coming out of the South. Illinois out of the Midwest. And then, I don't know if you guys talked about this because I missed the East bracket, but I like Alabama a lot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think they're going to come out. I don't think Michigan – I honestly don't see Michigan, and I don't see Baylor making it. It sucks because I would love to see Gonzaga-Baylor. I don't know if you guys know this, but earlier this year in December, Gonzaga was undefeated – and Baylor was undefeated also, and they're projected to play December 5th, and it was going to be a 1 versus 2. Baylor was number 1, Gonzaga was number 2 in the nation, and it actually got canceled. So I'm sort of still the only way they can play right now is if they both make it to the final game, and that would be something. But I just don't see Baylor making it. Gonzaga, I feel like, is by far the best team with their 3 best players. Oh my gosh, Suggs is so good. Just watching Gonzaga play, I just feel like they're going to take it.
Yeah, absolutely. What about you, Brendan? How you feeling on this?
With my crossouts here in the East, I did end up, as of now, which is...
As of now, could change in a couple minutes.
I do have Alabama making it out of the East. I think I really liked watching them play. And then I'm going to sound like Tommy here, but I did go Gonzaga, I did go Ohio State, and I did go Illinois. And I have Gonzaga playing Illinois in the final. And I think the one thing that Gonzaga could have a little bit of trouble with is playing against a big that is really physical, and that's who Illinois got in Coburn. I have Illinois winning the whole thing. I think watching some WCC games against not very talented but stronger big guys, that Timmy and what's the other dude's name?
Suggs?
No, the other big. They have another big that's pretty good.
Chris Kurt?
Yeah, I think those guys, very talented, but against an athletic, strong guy, I think they struggle with and might get in some foul trouble. And I have Illinois taking the whole thing.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
So I got Gonzaga. Let's start with that one. I think everyone had Gonzaga. They already beat, and like we talked about, they already beat the 2, 3, and 4 seeds in their section. And I don't see much changing there. Let's see, where do I want to go next? So I'm kind of with Brendan here. I've been crossing out, except I've been doing it on my laptop, so I've been deleting and whatnot. Let's go to the Midwest. It was really hard for me to not do this, but I had San Diego State at the start. Just, hot team, great shooting team. I saw someone, they were worried about them playing against Syracuse, but I'm just like, dude, Syracuse plays zone. Like, they're going to expose it unless, they can't find the rim even. I have Illinois coming out of the Midwest. I'm not super confident about that one. That's probably the one I'm least confident about. Coming out of the East, I have Texas. I think there has to be a team from the Big 12 in here. I think they were too good of a conference for it to not happen. And just looking at the bracket and seeing how, weak in terms of, I know you like Alabama, Tommy, but I'm not really big on them, and I'm not big on Michigan at all. That's kind of what I'm looking at. And then probably my surprise coming out of the South. Damn, I wish Tyrone was here. I got Purdue coming out.
Wow.
I'm all about Purdue. I love their offensive system. I love their big. Zach Edey is a beast. Trevion Williams is a freaking monster.
And absolutely,
yeah,
monster.
They got some good young guards too. That Tyrone gave me some inside knowledge, so I'm high on them, man. Well coached team. I think they'll make it to the Final Four. But yeah, the one I'm probably least confident is probably actually Illinois. But yeah, that's where I'm at.
Yeah, Texas was my cross out, if that means anything.
Yeah, I know. I texted you. I remember I texted you. I was like, you have Texas, don't you? And I knew it based on everyone else you said. But boys, looking at this, I feel like whenever we're looking at Final Four, there's always someone that gets in that no one expected. Probably, I want to say like around the under a 5 seed, so 6 and lower. Who's the team that you could see most likely to do that?
6 or lower?
Yeah, 6 or lower.
Georgetown.
Okay.
Georgetown.
I'm telling you, they're finding their groove at the right time. They really are. And there's something to be said about being coached by a guy that went to school there and is probably one of the greatest bigs to ever play the game, and has his jersey up in the rafters in Madison Square, but apparently you have to still show your ID when you go there. But yeah, Georgetown. I would say that would be my most confident pick. If you said anybody from 6 to 16 would be Georgetown. I think they could. They have good bigs, so they can match up with Michigan pretty well. And then I think they play enough. I think they play well enough they could probably squeeze by Alabama if that's who they would have played in the Elite Eight. But yeah, I'd say Georgetown.
Okay. What about you, Tommy?
I was doing some research earlier, and everyone really liked Texas Tech. I don't really know much about them, but they're saying if they were gonna make a room, they can make it because they're known for making a run. I mean, they went 2 years ago to the Final Four, so I mean, can they make it back? Can they get back to the Final Four? So I gotta say Texas Tech, and I mean, I'm looking at that bracket right now in the South. If they could get by Utah State, which they should, and if Colgate can pull the upset over Arkansas, I could see Texas Tech going to the Sweet 16. And yeah, I mean, they'd have to beat Ohio State. That'd be the tough one. But I don't feel like Baylor in the South is gonna have a rough road. I feel like Baylor sort of got screwed on that.
I know North Carolina, man. All three of their bigs. That's gonna be a tough matchup.
And then they got Purdue up there too if they get through North Carolina. So I mean, Baylor just sounds like trouble brewing in the South.
Yeah, absolutely. I gotta say, man, I know I mentioned it. I'm big on San Diego State. That's probably who I would pick. Just kind of looking. Yeah, I think I'd probably go with them. I don't see anyone in Gonzaga's section being able to do anything. And then, I mean, maybe Texas Tech too. I would agree with you on that, Tommy. But they're going to have their hands full with Colgate, so you never know. You never know, though. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. So, national champs, man. I think, is everyone pretty much like on the Gonzaga train or what? I think everyone here has Gonzaga.
Illinois.
Oh yeah, okay.
I'm going Gonzaga too.
Okay. Brandon, you had Gonzaga?
I have Illinois.
Oh, you have Illinois. Okay.
Yeah. No, I like Illinois a lot. I like their pace of play. They definitely get after it. And they're fiery, dude. Those guys get amped up in the moments, and if they can kind of ride a high through there, they'll be tough to beat.
They remind me of the 2005 Illinois team with Deron Williams, D. Brown, Luther Head.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember the big's name, but I actually was living in St. Louis at the time and got to go to the practice for the Final Four that year because it was free for people. And living close to St. Louis, Illinois was a very big basketball was very big there. So I knew a lot of Illinois fans. So I remember that team, and that's exactly who they remind me of because that team also had a deep bench and everybody. And the only thing that really stopped them was the powerhouse of North Carolina that year. So yeah, I like Illinois a lot.
Okay. Warden, I gotta ask you, man. Give me like two dark horse bets that like people wouldn't really expect. Do you have any that you can think of?
Yeah. So
it can be not even just first day or first 2 days. It can be anywhere or whatever.
So at the point of it opening, Illinois was plus 800 to win the championship. So obviously I love that one. So 8-1 odds. That's a really good bet. And then a couple more. I'll just go down my bet line because I have them right here. We talked about Oregon State. I love them at plus 7.5. I like Winthrop money line. I like Grand Canyon covering 14.5. They're getting 14.5, okay. And I just don't. Iowa's good. I think they win. But 14.5 is sneaky, right? You're up by double digits late in the game. They bring their backups in. Grand Canyon starts jacking threes, and all of a sudden it's a 9-point win and you cover. So I like that a lot. I like Ohio money line. You're getting plus 295 on that. It's almost a 3-1 odds. So I love Ohio beating UVA. I like Maryland getting 3 against UConn. I like Colgate getting 9.5, but I also like them winning as well. Mm-hmm. But if you're already kind of leery of the money line, then just take the 9.5. I love Georgetown getting 4.5. And obviously, the teams that I have advancing, if I feel strong enough, I'll just take the money line straight up. And then I like Rutgers giving up 1.5. But I will tell you, let me pull up the site real quick here. I had a little parlay kind of pre-pulled up, and I was like, okay, this is what it would look like. I like Cleveland State parlayed with Ohio University, and here, if I can.
Ooh.
Give me 1 second here. Let me trash this.
Yeah, that's going to be a big payday at the end there if that hits.
Yeah, so this is going to be a big payday here. So let me pull it up real quick.
Let me get my pen right quick.
Yeah, write down this.
Get
it, baby.
All right, so let me find it. Come on. There it is. Cleveland State plus 1,300 money line for Cleveland State.
Jeez.
Right? Yeah, Jesus definitely the answer to that comment there. And then, come on, this website. I'm dealing with some vision issues, so I got my website at like plus 250, so it's taking me a second here. There we go. And then obviously the 295 for Ohio. So
1,500, 295.
Yeah, so all three of us, $25. I would say could throw $25 down on a parlay. So let's just do that real quick. That would net you almost $1,400.
I'm down. Let's do it.
I love it. It's my favorite. It's my favorite parlay bet. I really like OU against Virginia because of the traveling issues with the COVID issues that Virginia is going with. They're not going to be able to practice until maybe Saturday morning they might practice. They might have a shoot around. And then, like I said, Cleveland State's my favorite. I will tell you this: if I think they play on different days, so if Cleveland State wins Friday, and I won't be able to sleep Saturday or going into Saturday because I will be dancing around the book to just drop 25 on that. But yeah, that's probably my favorite parlay. Is a little. And if you want to get spicy, add Colgate in there, and obviously we're almost cooking with grass or grease there, and we're probably getting almost $4,000. So, yeah.
Oh man. So boys, tournament is back. What are your guys' plans for the game? I think I already know two of your guys' plans, but that's okay. We can still go over it. Warden, what are you doing for the games this week?
So we're gonna get to. Out to West Virginia. Like I said, we usually go out to Vegas, but since states around Ohio are starting to get the gambling, it's a little easier to drive 4 hours than fly 4 hours. So we're gonna head out to West Virginia and play some bets. We're gonna get there for the first four and do that. We like to do a little parlay before the night ends, and then I'll be there until Sunday, and I will probably be in the same chair for multiple hours. Take a little cat nap during the afternoon. But yeah, those are my plans, and then drive back Monday and watch the games because I'm off. So
sounds like a good plan.
Oh yeah.
What about you, Tommy and Brendan?
Getting together with the boys. You two, both of you guys. We're just gonna cook up some food, watch the games. I'm actually really bummed. I got Thursday, Friday off because it's usually starts on a Thursday, and I realized I messed up. I should have took off on Monday. Because this is the first time ever, as far as I know, that they started on a Friday. So that's definitely a bummer.
Oh, man, Tom's. But yeah, man, I'm definitely looking forward. We're going to cook it up, man. It's going to be – so Brendan and Tom's are coming. We got some other guys coming. I'm going to have all the TVs set up outside. I actually, big surprise, I got a huge bracket for us so we can kind of fill it in. So nice. that'll be nice.
Can we get some sticker names so we can slap some teams up there? So as Colgate gets it up, we'll hit it up.
Does someone have a label machine or something? I'm down to do that.
Hey, Ashley used to teach kindergarten. I'm sure we got a little something where we can throw a laminating machine.
Be like, yo, Ash, can you make some labels for 64 teams?
I think she'll be so excited. I'm sure.
But yeah, man, no, I'm super excited. I'm glad that this is happening. This is back, and I mean, I don't know if you guys saw there was an article on was it Washington Post or something, just talking about everything that's like going into it. Like they're giving all the players like these armbands, so if they're in contact with someone, they know, and they know they have to quarantine. Just the way they're doing like all the hotels and stuff, it was super interesting. So, I mean, this year is going to be like no other for March Madness, man. And I feel like we're going to have some good games just because we, all of these guys missed out on it last year.
Well, it's like when you're in your relationship with your girl and you got to go long term for a little. Don't see her for a year. She comes back. The excitement's there, man. Honestly, dude, I was like giddy watching Selection Sunday. Like I stood the entire time. Like it felt really good for this to be back. So I'm excited.
Brendo was like one of the players, man, when they announced the team was in. He was
every team.
Let's go. I love
That's
it.
Fun.
So I want to make a quick point here. So while you guys were talking, and I'm excited too, I added Colgate to it for you guys.
He's definitely excited.
I love it.
But how about 5,700? For all three of them to win, so $25.
I'm down.
Good luck.
So I'm gonna place. You know what? That's gonna be my Canes call in, Brendan and Tommy bet right there. So I'm just gonna throw 25 on that, and then I'll once it hits, I'll DM Matt and be like, hey guys, there you go.
There you go.
I love
That's
it.
Awesome.
Hey man, I just want to thank you guys. Thank you guys for all coming on and talking some hoops, man.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm super excited, and I'm hoping to do this every year. And hopefully we got some good games, man. That's all you can ask for, right?
Yeah. I think tournament always delivers. There's going to be something to talk about, so I'm 100% excited.
Yep, can't wait.
All right, guys. Thank you so much again.
Absolutely, I appreciate you guys.
I appreciate it, guys.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Put us on.
See you guys.
Oh yeah.
Adios.
That's awesome. You guys are good, man. That was a great show.
Yeah, that was awesome, man. It was a little different, man, having two of my close friends on. I didn't even introduce them because I was just like, hey, it's Brendan, hey, it's Tommy.
All right. You got you, Brendan, Tommy, and Colton all just clicked. You guys knew what you were talking about. I just kept quiet because I'm like I said, I'm not a big basketball, but I filled out my bracket when I was listening.
No, and all three of those guys, man, they know a lot about. Like Tommy used to cover St. Mary's. Brendan played college ball.
Or something, or wrote in the paper or
I believe I mean I should have asked him when we had him on, but I think he did like the play-by-play. So like kind of like what Wyatt does too as well. Yep. He was part of the student like broadcast, and then obviously Brendan was like a successful high school basketball coach. He also played in college, and he had several like CIF records, as we've talked about. We mentioned him in the past, and then man, like Warden too, man. You talk about a guy that's like researches the shit out of everything, man. Like he knows so much more than I do about statistics and everything, matchup wise. So it was nice to have all three of those guys on. Unfortunately, we couldn't
sit here and listen, to be honest.
Yeah, unfortunately, we couldn't have Tyrone on.
Oh, that's right.
He's a busy dude, but I'm sure he's excited about me picking Purdue to be in the Final Four. So
I'm sure he is. At least he better be, or it won't happen again.
Yeah, man. I know, for real. So, man, this one's kind of it was a long one, man. We went through a lot of games. I think both of us. I mean, I'm super excited for March Madness to start. I know all those guys are. I'm going to be watching with two of them, and in spirit, Warden will be there, and in spirit, you'll be there as well.
Well, who knows? Maybe Saturday we might do a Zoom or something. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we'll do something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
I'm gonna have a lot of dudes at my house. So, but yeah, I'm down.
We'll see.
Might not be the most sober, but I mean that makes it more interesting, right?
Exactly. And it will be recording, so just FYI.
Yeah. The thing that is a little different though too about this bracket is this year, all the games are by section. So like each section plays one day, and then it's not usually like that. And I think I want to say oh man, I really hope Colgate plays on Saturday, because that's when oh no, I can't tell. I think they play on Saturday. I'm really hoping, because I really wanted to watch that game. I think it's going to be
3:19, 12:45 p.m. Eastern.
On Saturday, right?
The 3:19. So that's Friday, right?
3:19. Oh, damn it. Okay. Unfortunate, but try my best to watch it.
12:45 p.m. Eastern. That's what's that? That's like 10 o'clock or 9:45 a.m. here.
Yeah. Yeah. So hey, we're in the same time zone now, man.
I know. It sucks.
It's
Why
weird.
Can't the rest of the country just decide not to change time zone? That's just stupid.
I know. I don't understand it either.
I don't either.
I really don't. But yeah. Is there anything else you wanted to go over, man? I know we're running low on time here. I did a lot of the talking today, because I was so excited about March Madness.
That's what you were supposed to do.
Yeah, man. It's my thing, dude.
Y'all were doing great. I enjoy sitting here.
Yeah,
I just filled out my bracket as y'all were going through it. I had some already
I know
filled.
You were texting me.
Right. Well, I had it pre-filled. You know what I mean? I had it already filled out what I wanted. But then when you guys were talking about upsets, I was like, that's the same thing I was thinking of, kind of. So I made a couple changes to it, but it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, man. So I'm excited. Was there anything else you wanted to go over? Anything you want to talk about?
Nope. I think we're good. Shout out to Jimmy V, our man.
Oh yeah, shout out Jimmy, man. He's always been supporting us since day one and stuff. And Luca to the U, man.
Luca to the U. That's what I was going to close it out with. So let me go ahead and start the ending music here as it's playing. As always, we appreciate you guys listening. You can like, subscribe, and follow us on all on all the platforms you get your podcasts from. We're on all of them. And man, I'm just excited. Good time. Like I said, I'm not into it as you guys, but I love filling out my bracket, and I love watching the games because of the bracket. But yeah,
there's nothing like
I'm
it.
ready.
March Madness Fiends. That's the name of the episode. Or actually, you already named it, so never mind.
Yeah, I just got to throw Fiends in there. It's fine.
Hey, let's do it.
All right, even though it's basketball related, we're all ready to go. It's always about Go Canes.
Yes, sir.